Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up for this Tuesday, the 17th of August, 2021. I almost said August 21st. Before we go anywhere, friends, we're going to have our What's Up Live webinar, but I'm doing it on Thursday, not on my typical Wednesday. I had a computer glitch the past 3 days. It took today, we got it fixed, and I wanted to get everything out in a timely manner, so I decided to put it off for Thursday. It will open at 12:15 p.m. I start speaking at 12:30. It ends by 12:50. It's very short, but to the point. You bring your questions. I'll do my best to answer them. If you didn't get my invite already, click up here to register. Now, when you register, you'll get back your password and everything you need. There's a question there, my email address. Just send to me what you want me to cover. Give me the chance well before Thursday so that I can put in the charts, get them set up, and we can just whip through them for you. You can then re-ask your question. I'll have them all in front of me anyway, so we can do it that way. All right. So a mixed bag, but a lot of red today. You know, it's not a surprise. You turn on the national news or you watch a business news channel, it's about America's poor handling of the Taliban situation in Afghanistan. It's about COVID-19, how terrible it is. Even today, I started laughing, and I don't mean this at Governor Abbott in Texas, but I'm laughing as he is staunch. He doesn't want mandates that you have to wear masks, and he got COVID today. I wish him the best, and I mean that sincerely. But, you know, it's everything. You may want to believe one thing, but it gets you the other, and this is a very serious disease. And now they're talking that the White House might announce as quick as tomorrow, possibly, a third shot if you've gotten the Moderna or the Pfizer. So what'll that do for their stocks? Because now you're already into the boosters. We had talked about that. They wanted 8 months after you've, I guess, completed your 2 shots. We'll hear more about it. We'll hear about younger people getting vaccinated. It's unfolding right in front of our eyes. But let's face it, unless you went through the Spanish flu, we haven't done anything quite like this. Reminds me of when I grew up and there was polio and tuberculosis and the sanitariums and all that sadness. You can see that PAVE gave up some ground. You know, it's been getting such good press, that's almost a kiss of death when that happens. When we go to ARK, today you heard from Kathy Woods as she was on national TV on the business channels defending what her program is, but admitting that they have gotten out since February. I guess they've been unwinding all of their Chinese stocks. They're down to, if they own it, it's a very small portion any longer. And she gave the reasons why, and it made sense, and that is what they're doing in China. You know, they're revamping their economy at the expense of getting investors involved. And it's just every day there's a new set of regulations, and you wonder how these companies can survive. But I don't think the government there is worried about the survival of the company. They're worried about the good of the communist people. So you put it down. That's how I'm looking at it, okay? Then you look through here. Lower highs, lower lows, bearish. You look here, all the market did is rally into as it was happening back to the 200-day average in the 18, and what was I saying? I was telling clients, very frankly, I think the pros are selling short here. Stops over that high, looking for a break, and they got to that break yesterday, and you even broke further today. Okay, but you're in a downtrend. Will you stay out of the lower Bollinger Band, that black line, very long? No. You won't, because statistically you don't. That doesn't mean you can't fall further and the line bends to price, but that's what I expect. Apple, I said yesterday, it's the flip-flop of ARK. You're up to the upper Bollinger Band. I'm looking for profit taking to set in right here, right now. PAVE, there's nothing wrong with this except you lost your bullish embedded reading. And when you lose it, unless it's gained back literally shortly after the open in the morning, the odds favor strong that it's not going to be regained, and the market will try to get down to the 18-day average of closes. As long as 2639 is not taken out, the trend will remain up. The problem is when you lose that bullish momentum, you instantly become overbought, and to get rid of that, one of two things happen. You either re-embed with both numbers getting back over 80, or the blue and the red line have to get under 70. I explain it in my enhanced Bollinger Band. and my regular charting course, especially for that. The industrial sector, tell me that you didn't get to the upper band and you pulled right back to the 18-day average. That's what you look for. These are the exact type of plays back and forth that you're looking for in there, and really not much more. You were with an embedded reading that's been lost in the semiconductor. We have been talking about this for a little bit. I said, watch out, this market's got lower highs, lower lows, target right here. Can it keep the embedded reading? It had it yesterday. It's gone. The odds of getting that back, I'd rate at 0. Well, let's give it 99.99%. Anything can happen. But you'd have to get both numbers back up there. It'd have to be something major announcement to just send the stock going crazy, or the ETF going crazy in that case. POTX, now 2 days under the lower band, both days at the lower quadrant. It's a breakout. So this market back at the 18-day average, I'm expecting aggressive selling into that market. I don't think it'll happen on one swoop, and you might embed by the time you roll around to that. We're getting very close, but that's an ugly chart. When you look at ESGU, the market's on a trajectory to lose its embedded reading if it's down tomorrow. You've got a higher high, lower low. All you did is kiss the upper Bollinger Band, got out. I think the pros, not me, I think the pros, and I think right back at the 18-day average, they're neutral. No position right here at this point. XLE. Well, I said that when you hit the Bollinger Band, I thought support was going to happen. And I've said that, by the way, in the crude, the heating oil, the gasoline. They've hit it in the futures, and I'm looking for them all to try to find their initial support. Finding support is not saying buy. Covering shorts is not the same as going long. I think the smart money's coming out there. Will they sell under a Bollinger Band? I don't think so, but let's assume they do. Let's assume the market just gets a bad taste with COVID and all that's going on. Next stopping spot, 46.61. Is there anything bullish on this chart? No, other than it's a little bit oversold. When you get to the emerging market, you got all the way up and you let the market go yesterday. This break under that low was the end of that. But do I think the pros came out? No. I think because the embedded reading was there, they stayed. You lost it today with a reading of 66. I now think they're gone. So I think the people that came in here and didn't take any money off the table, I think they lost it. And now the market's just going to fight a battle, I think, at the 18-day average to see what next. In GLD, all I see is a market that rallied to the 18-day average, another level of resistance at the 100-day, then the 200-day. So I'm seeing a lot of resistance, the trend up, the bias down. It hasn't closed over the 18-day average. Momentum up a little bit here. The gold miners, there is no trend. The market is oversold. Is it trying to embed? Well, both numbers were under on a closing basis 20 today, and they were both under 20 yesterday, not the day before. So tomorrow is going to be the key day. Will the market get a bounce, or is it going to lock in and then the pros start selling it aggressively again, in my opinion? TLT, downtrend in the sense of lower highs, lower lows. But what you've really done is you've just honed in on this 18-day average. Anyone that was looking for Fed Chair Powell to speak today in front of educators and students and spill anything about tapering, I was laughing at. Do you think that's the audience you do it with? I wrote that last night. I said, you know, anything's possible, but the odds are stacked. He's not going to do anything like that. And I think I'm right. I also am not yet in the camp that he's going to say anything at Jackson Hole. COVID is a serious issue. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand is supposed to, they have their monetary meeting tomorrow. The odds were stacked with the analysts that they would raise interest rates by as much as a 0.5 percentage point because the economy was doing so good. I woke up this morning and now the economy shut down, a snap shutdown for 3 days. They found COVID. The whole economy gets shut down. Do you raise interest rates at the time of a shutdown? 3 days can become 2 weeks. You don't know what you've got. I doubt it. That's just the logic in the New Zealand dollar down a full cent today. That's a big break in it. FXE, back down, in through here. So what's playing havoc with the markets right now and what's hurting the markets? It's COVID. I agree. The tragedy from Taliban is terrible, and it is a tragedy. It's a misstep on the United States' part, this administration specifically, and we all know that. They can say whatever they want. I think that if you look at it, they could have handled this a lot better. We were always going to leave Afghanistan. It's how we left, the poor planning of it. So we'll talk about this on Thursday. We'll talk about what does it mean. I'm not convinced that means anything to the financial markets, but COVID means a lot. What about everything else that's coming up? Retail sales were quite weak today. What did that mean? What do these new mask mandates mean in different spots? I'll see you come Thursday, I hope, but in any case, have a good evening tonight.